Hello again and welcome to an entirely new game. It's not Pokemon, it's not racing, it is a classic and very little known DOS strategy game by the name of Nectaris, released in 1995, published by Hudson, you know, the ones with the B, and developed by a very small and completely unknown German company known as Sunflower. There aren't really too many options, so we're just going to jump right into, hold on, this is the 5th mission. We should go back to the 1st mission. So, I'll get more into this later, but there are 3 different planets that this game takes on. So it's pretty much in order. As you can see, this one at the bottom here has level 1, this is level 33, and this is level 65. As you might have guessed, there are 32 levels on each planet. I'm going to jump straight into level 1 right now, known as Revolt, which is also the password to access this level. Of course, since this is the first level, there's no reason you need a password, but in case you really need. So this is the main screen of the game. As you can see sort of by my cursor, the spaces are hexes, not squares. But other than that, it's a lot like something along the lines of Advanced War. You alternate turns, you always go first. It's you, the blues, versus, for right now, the green enemy AIs. On each of your turns, you can move as many of your units as they want. Most units can both move and shoot. Some, maybe not both at the same time. The goal is to kill all of the enemy's units, or capture their HQ, this little radar dish building, with an infantry unit. Unlike something like Advanced Wars, there are no factories or anything like that to build new units. So for right now, in this very first mission, there are only 2 types of units. We have the F-61 tank, and here we see its stats. Unfortunately, I don't have a cursor, but you see at the top its attack. It has a decent attack of 50, a range of 1, sort of less decent defense of 40, movement of 6 spaces, which is good, but then below that, you see the movement cost for each type of terrain. So roads and clear squares cost 1, hills and grassy squares cost 2, rock costs 3 of the 6 movement, and anything else it just can't move on. If we compare to the GX-77 Charlie, which is just a basic infantry unit, we see its attack is only 10 and the defense is a pitiful 4. It can attack air units, but with the same attack of just 10. Its movement is only 3, although it can move better on rough terrain. It can even cross cliffs, although that uses automatically all of its movement. But again, these infantry units can capture HQs and immediately win the game, so that's very important. So another one key concept of this game that's different than things like Advanced Wars is that if you're surrounded by the enemy, they actually support each other in attacking. I'll explain how that works a little more later. So I'm not going to move my tank here because it can be surrounded by 2 units. Instead, I'm going to park it here. Actually, I'm going to put it here in front of the bridge. You may also notice that I can't move past the enemy into its zone here. I'll explain how that works a little more later as well. Basically, I'm just going to stack all of my troops right around here. Move the infantry up a little more slowly. Actually, I'm going to send, I'm just going to leave him here. So these gaps and cliffs, you may think they're impassable. They're actually not for infantry. If you look again at their info, there's an all next to that, which means they can cross these. It just takes all of their 3 movement points. So I've moved all 5 of my troops, that's it, and I'm going to end my turn. So here comes the AI. The AI in this game, I actually think it's quite good compared to some other similar strategy games. This is what battles look like. You may have seen a lot of numbers across the bottom of the screen. I'll try to explain how those work a little bit. Yeah, you see the tank now walking into my 2 tanks, so that greatly enhances my defense, and you can see in the results of the battle there, he took 3 losses, I only took 2. So let's explain for a moment how support works. So when you attack, and you have another unit that can attack the same unit, you get support, and that increases your attack by a portion. I believe it might be half of the supporting unit's attack. Now the same applies on defense. So let's say I'm going to take this tank and attack this tank, which is what I'm going to actually do. I get support from this tank, and he actually gets support from this infantry. But the support from the tank is going to be much more than the support from the infantry, so I'm just going to do that right now. If you watch the numbers flash across the bottom of the screen where it says support effect, we both got an S. So that means we both got support, and that increased my attack and his defense. So each unit starts out with 8 individual tanks or infantries or whatever as part of it. He's now down to 2, so I'm going to take this tank and hope to blow this right up. And there we go. At the very end of that, you may have seen also a random bonus. Luck is, well, certainly a decent part of this game. The random bonus can be all the way from 0.4 to 2.5, so that's a really huge swing. See right there, I got a 2.0, and although the support certainly helped, that's a big reason why I was able to blow up so many of his infantries. So at this point, I'm going to take this tank and finish the job. So you can see the fact that the player moves first is a pretty big advantage. So I started out with 1 more tank. Now at the end of my second turn, he's already down to 1 tank and 1 infantry, and I've suffered no losses whatsoever. So this stage, well, I've essentially won. You'll actually be able to hear the music change. The AI sort of detects if it's winning or it's losing. This is the music it thinks it's losing. That is a bit annoying, but again, this isn't going to matter too much. And this is the music that thinks you're winning, which is always nice to hear. See, this is another concept I'll get into a little more later, but it's called the zone of control. Each unit has a zone of control surrounding it, and one of the effects of the zone of control is once you move in, that ends your move for the turn. So once my tank goes here, it's in the zone of control of this tank and it has to stop. So I can't go past it. That's why but if you're in the zone of control, you can move 1 space on your turn. So that's why the tank that was here was able to move here. So now I'm going to get some support and hopefully finish the job here. Nope, 2 left. Also move this infantry toward the goal and use my remaining tank. Just make sure this guy doesn't get any right ideas. And I'll put it on the rocks just in case. Rocks are a 30% defense bonus, which is quite substantial actually. Should I? Yeah, I should actually. Of course, infantry have a very low attack power, but I'll be getting the support of both of these tanks. So this will increase my Charlie's attack by quite a bit. Unfortunately, my random bonus was a 0.5, so I'm not going to do very much damage. Wish I'd taken him out that turn. Oh well. Do your best, AI. He just retreats. And you notice he didn't move the infantry at all. The AI in this game, they have this weird thing where when they're losing, they just give up. It's not really something you expect from an AI, but in this game, it is a thing that happens. They either just retreat, or in some cases, they sort of stop moving. I like this music, because it means you're winning. So again, the victory condition for every mission in this game is simply destroy each and every one of your opponent's troops, or capture their HQ. Lucky shot there. Fortunately, infantry has moved 3, so I am 1 space away from his HQ, and probably 1 shot from blowing up this Charlie. No 4-turn win this time though. Just end. Which way should I do it? I'm gonna let this poor guy live. Actually, they're not guys, they're all androids in this game. But I'm gonna move this guy and wrap up the finish. So you see these 2 sort of weird graphs at the end of every mission. Results. It's actually the opposite. The results indicate how many losses you have. So that huge spike on the second turn is when I basically decimated his army on that second turn. Units is more straightforward. It shows the total number of units. So I suffered no losses whatsoever. He went from 4 to 2, started with 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's the end of stage 1. It's quite easy, as is befitting a stage 1. Your 1 tank advantage means it's pretty tough to lose. And then at the bottom you see the next one, stage 2. The password is Icarus, and you will you will be seeing that shortly in the very next episode.